We talked about all those things I like to talk about. She told me, but how do you just start a conversation with anybody? I told her, interest.
Yeah, you show interest.
Once you show interest in a person,
you
get access to their heart.
So you guys, one of the imprints, okay, I need to stop blaming that, but one of the things that I have in my life that I need to work on is the idea of actively showing interest, not passively showing interest, but actively showing interest, that I am interested in the well-being.
Showing interest does not mean you're interested.
Yeah.
Sometimes showing interest and being interested are different things.
Yeah.
Showing interest is to allow the other person to what? To communicate. Showing interest is to allow communication to happen.
Yeah.
Being interested is to allow communication to continue.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You see, I can show interest and get you talking, but the moment I lose interest,
that's it. Yeah.
So here the thing is, as men, when you show interest in your partner, when you show interest in your children, it allows them to come close, because now they can unmask, they can open up. So it is not something to be taken lightly.
So showing concern, showing interest in the family, and actually creating an environment where it's a normal thing for a child to ask another child, why are you sad, and stuff like that, and get to the bottom of stuff.
Or if it's end of a month and your children can come and ask you, Daddy, we've noticed you're stressed. Every end of month you're stressed. What's that? Then you will know that, wait, when I'm broke, I'm stressed. And when I'm stressed, I act this way. So this comes out of concern, like knowing how to show concern for people, you show interest.
You really have got to accommodate, because another thing that I see in me is getting so busy, to such an extent that you probably are not accessible. You are there, right? You have an office in the house. You are there. You're actually a knock away, but you are unavailable at the same time. You're inaccessible at the same time. That's not showing concern. That's not building an environment of concern.
But why are you away? Or what reason do you give yourself to justify that situation?
I'm working.
To do what?
To earn some money and so on.
Then what?
Then pay bills.
And then what? So I think I'm asking these questions to bring us to this place where the door can be closed. Yeah. But people are welcome. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Because I feel bad that we as a generation have come to a place where we've elevated making money over
family,
growing
relationships.
And you know what? It's also interesting that the generation we live in, the pattern that has been created is that a man is not a man if he does not have a certain level of money.
Yeah.
So what kind of money does it take for a man to be able to sit back in his house and say, now I have money? I mean, even to deal for all the money he has, does not feel like he can sit home and be a man. Or how has Bill Gates so much money helped him to keep his family together? These are real questions we need to be asking ourselves.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, for all the money he's made.
Yeah.
So as a generation of men, we need to come to a place where we decide that what is going to be the balance between pursuing money and provide for my family, or not have family.
Cool.
So I can have money.
So breaking the imprints of paternity and so on, we've got to actively be there and actively show concern to the people involved.
Yes. Once we've shown concern, compassion is the ability to feel
feelings. And they say men don't feel, men don't show feelings.
And these are not just feelings. These are feelings of you see, compassion. Com means inside.
Yeah.
passion as you understand it.
Yeah.
So it is passion on the inside for something that you have seen.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
It is being moved internally to act. Because compassion without action is not compassion.
Yeah, it ain't. Yeah. Yeah.
You get it?
So at the tail end of compassion, the reason for compassion is actually to take action.
You get it?
Yeah.
So now as a parent, when you see a child sick and the child is in pain and you can't do anything about that, you know how that feels?
The helplessness there is out of this world. It is.
Now sometimes you've paid the bills, but you can't help the child breathe.
Yeah.
And you just wish you could breathe for your child.
Yeah.
Now in that time, because you can't do that, compassion moves you to do what they cannot do in that moment. Compassion moves you to do for someone what they can't do for themselves.
You just summarized Denzel Washington's John Q. You watched the movie?
I think so.
It's a movie of a guy, his son all of a sudden drops and has a condition which the pharmaceuticals and the health system had noticed but did not communicate to them. So this guy needs a new heart immediately. Denzel, actually is out of a true life story. So the guy gets to hospital, holds hospital people hostage on gunpoint. The gun actually wasn't loaded with a bullet inside. And he says, if someone is sick, they need help, and this country, there's got to be a heart somewhere that this boy of mine can have. And they say, there's no heart. Even if there was a heart, there's a list.
Line.
You don't get there. This guy, you gotta watch that movie.
I've watched it.
He says, if there is no heart, he can have mine. He can have mine.
That's a father's heart right there.
You guy. And that's the moment they realize, and they tell him, but even if he has yours, right, you've got to match. He says, we match. We've done tests. Tissue tests, all those blood tests, we are compatible. He says, but how are you going to get your heart? They explain to him, you see, if we give him your heart, it means you're going to die. That's the point.
That's our point. So thank you very much.
That's when they realize that the gun was not even loaded. He loads a bullet inside the gun, literally shoots himself, and the safety was on. And at that particular moment, that's when a heart comes in. Someone was in an accident and so on and so forth, because he'd be holding the hospital hostage for 2 hours. Some things were done. The heart came in. Long story short, the child got a transplant. So that was a summary of compassion right there.
That is a summary of a father's heart.
You guy.
What would you do
for your child,
for your family, even if it meant losing yourself? And you see, we say these things, people, if you're listening there, we're not saying them because we got it together. We've always been saying we don't got it.
Yeah.
We are saying these things because we're in class. We the teachers, we're in class.
Yeah.
These are things we struggle with ourselves. And as a man, when you find yourself in a situation where you do not seem to have the answers, there is nothing wrong with saying,
I need help.
I don't got this. I don't know how to do this. Because you know what? The most important thing that is going to be required of a man in the conversation of care is commitment.
That's the third, the fourth?
This is the fourth, and it's what I want to stop on for this one.
Yeah.
Commitment. You see, commitment has been a word that has been used in a way that we're afraid of it. Because it means that once you commit, you don't own yourself anymore.
It's been said that the two most scariest words a man can hear is, I'm pregnant.
Why?
Comes back to that issue of commitment, because it means commitment.
It means your life is no longer yours anymore.
Yeah.
But what's wrong?
Yeah.
What's wrong
Especially, by the way, if she says, I'm pregnant and she's not your wife. What's funny?
New problems. You see, you see there are
It spells commitment.
You see there are problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's calamity. Now that is a calamitous kind of situation. You know why?
Yeah.
Because as a man, already the fact that there is a woman with a child who is not his wife means that there was no expression of commitment to his wife.
Yeah.
But also commitment in men does not mean monogamy. People need to understand that.
Yeah.
Commitment we are talking about here is that as far as you're concerned, I will give 100% for your well-being. It does not necessarily mean that as far as you're concerned, I'll give 100% to be with you all the time. So now here's a situation where man X has found himself in a situation where he's now having a side door. And people have secret families, my brother. People have secret families. I do not know how they balance this thing.
You realize it when someone dies. That's when the people just comes out of the woodwork. And the DNA is there and everything.
DNA, just see the face.
And the family, the initial family did not know
now,
for years, 30 years, 40, 50.
I mean, what I get shocked at is how those people get angry at those kids and then get angry at the man. Why are you angry? Did those children's existence take anything from you? If they didn't, you have no right to be angry. And then recently, a friend of mine called me. He was mad. He's like, I can't believe my dad. This guy has decided to get married again. He didn't tell any of us. He did not even inquire. You can imagine? Our mom just passed on just last year.
Oh, come on.
I said, okay, I'm waiting. It's like, I'm waiting for you to come to the point, the one where you're really, really angry.
Yeah.
He said, he has not told us. I said, has he been married to your mother? I said, no. Because they had separated with the mother years.
Yeah.
And the woman he was going to marry was the woman he has been living with.
Yeah.
And now because his first wife had died, he now decides to wed.
Yeah.
And the boys are up in arms because they didn't tell him. I said, why you consulted to be born?
See, now the kids normally ask that question when they are given responsibilities. I did not apply to be born.
So you see, commitment. Back to what we were talking about. So this man is in a situation where he has to remain committed to his family, but now there is a child born here, or a child on the way, that is also going to demand
more further commitment.
Yeah. So what is commitment? How does a man show that he is 100% involved in this situation? This is what part of care means. Commitment here means that when you're needed, you are there. There is no excuse.
It doesn't mean sending money.
That's only part of it.
A small fraction of it.
It's a small fraction of it. You see, I don't live with my daughters. Now I can pay all the fees and the upkeep. But if I'm sent an invitation for visitation and I don't honor it, that's what they'll remember.
Yeah, he didn't show up.
Because you see,
even if you send them a toy,
there are things that are expected and there are things that are demanded.
Yeah.
Be very, very wary of the things that are expected.
Wow.
If something is demanded, it means it's expressly made. But then if someone expects something and they might not show, they might not say, it's just that, Daddy, you know what? I expected you to be there. I just didn't demand. It was my VD. It was my birthday.
That's a very loaded point.
You and you didn't come. And those are the wounds that now do what?
the expectation, the demand is something, they demand for things that they can live without.